Hello and welcome to today's video on high altitude investing. So today is going to be a Bitcoin and altcoin price overview, and I'm going to start with Ethereum Core. So if we look at Ethereum, we can see that basically since December 6th, when it bottomed out, it came up and tested 0.01148 Bitcoin and dumped off after that, clear down to basically where it broke low, which is around the 0.00762 Bitcoin range. It's worth 0.00829 right now, but I'm still looking at a general downtrend in Ethereum, because I'm still holding strong to my idea that it's going to meet the same price as ETC. So I think it's going to shave off a lot of its value into ETC, and that's what I see happening in Ethereum in the next. It might take a little while. It might take up to a month or so to do that, but I see them meeting an equal value at some point. ETC and Ethereum will be worth the same amount, is my theory, and then at that point one of them will take off, and at that point you'll know what the true chain is. I just don't think that two chains are going to last. I really don't. I think that one of them will have to take over at some point, because it's the same thing. It's just one chain is dumber. The original core chain I personally don't like, because I've explained it in the past. I don't agree with the DAO hard fork, but so that's kind of my thoughts on Ethereum right now. I actually have just been saying downtrend ever since this area, and I've hated it, or I've disliked Ethereum Core ever since the DAO hard fork. That really did it for me. Because I made a lot of money trading Ethereum. It used to be one of my favorite cryptocurrencies on here to talk about and trade. But at this point, you gotta keep up with what's going on, and that's what I see in the market. So that's my current views on Ethereum right now. Now let's look at XMR. I'm still thinking that XMR is going to do a pretty interesting little pattern here. This big thing right here, I think, is going to come down to around where it broke out at. Where it came out from its low at and made its 1, 2, 3 bottom right here. This is a 1, 2, 3 bottom continuation pattern in my eyes. So the uptrend will continue. But I think it has to do a little correction down to the 0.00699 range. Now, if you don't know what a correction is in cryptocurrencies, or trading in general, not just cryptocurrencies, but stock trading, all kinds of them. Wow, I can't talk today. But all the different world markets, basically anything that follows chart patterns and is traded on a market, they have what's called a correction, and that means that when it hits a new high, it has to find support. So it drops down to a point in which it doesn't want to go below, and that's called finding support. It's a correction in the market. The price is correcting itself and finding where it wants to be, basically, is the way that it works. Now, XMR did a correction after it hit its peak, and its peak is at 0.0265 Bitcoin, and it corrected down to 0.00576 Bitcoin. So it made a pretty big correction. It went pretty significantly down in value. So that's okay though, because it did find support right here, and we've been seeing a nice little uptrend since then. I've been trading it a little bit here on the way up, making some money, mainly margin trading, and yeah, so I see definitely a lot of potential in this coin. I'm just kind of waiting for it to finish this little pattern it's doing right now. I think it's going to come down to its correction point, or pretty close to it. Now, my main reasoning behind that is because I feel like Dash is gonna have a really nice run here soon, and I feel like it's gonna lose some of its leverage due to that. We'll see though. It has a lot of potential still either way. Now, speaking of Factum, Factum is pretty gnarly right now. So let's look back at December 5th when it bottomed out. I'm just going to mainly look at when these coins did their hard bottom, you know, when they really bottomed out hard. So from December 6th on. Now, Factum has been proven to be a pretty good investment for me recently. I've been making, you know, nice money on this run up here, closing my positions when I see it kind of find a little resistance. So I've traded Factum on the way up to about right here. I stopped trading it, and I think I was busy that day or something and didn't trade it when it peaked out here. But you know, I made some money up to around here. Its bottom was at 0.001994 Bitcoin, and it double topped. This is a double top formation that happened right here. It came up and hit a high, and came up and tried to break above that high and couldn't, and broke low. So that's what's called a double top formation. And that's a really, really good looking one, actually. It looks very, very nice. It's a good demonstration of a double top formation. That right there in Factum. Now, do I think it's a permanent double top? Do I think it's going to start a downtrend? No, I don't think it's that intense of a double top. It was more of a day trading double top, something for short sellers to see and make some money right there. But it came down and tested its 23% Fibonacci level, and you know how I like those Fibonacci levels, but I see a lot of potential in Factum right now. It's a great buy. It's not up too much. It's not down too much. It's in a nice little area. It has a lot of interest right now, a lot of volume. I believe there's been some news about it kind of driving it. So this is definitely one that I will be investing in. I'll probably buy some more later today. So yeah, Factum is a good one. Still thinking that a lot of these altcoins are in amazing market conditions right now. Just because of the recent Bitcoin rally up above 900, I'm still not changing my mind about the strength and the perfect market conditions for these altcoins to really take off here in the next little while. So, okay, now let's look at Zcash. Zcash has kind of been consistently doing about 20% the last couple days, which is nice. That's good gains. There's a lot of money to be made trading Zcash when it's making these huge spikes up that it does. Like this one right here. Let's go take a look at this one that it made. Alright, now it did the exact formation, quite literally. I will show you here in a second what I'm talking about, but excuse me. So this one, as you can see, it came up, it hit this bottom right here at 0.0725 Bitcoin, came up and hit this 3 point, 0.0986, came down and hit this, 2 point at 0.0986, and then its 3 point is 0.0735. So this is a standard triangle 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It finds a new low, or just a significant low, and then comes up, breaks high, and comes down and tries to go below that low and fails to go any lower. So this is 1, 2, 3. And I talk about this formation quite a bit too, but this is one that is really amazing and has proven to make me profit countless times. And so, you know, you do what works. So it's really prevalent too. And a lot of these cryptocurrencies just have obvious trading signals, like to die for trading signals. You know, you can get a pretty good idea of what's going on in these markets if you have a little bit of knowledge in the area, you know, and some experience. So this is a good 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that happened in Zcash in between November 22nd and yeah, it was just during November 22nd, about, you know, around 3 days it made it, and then it made a nice little rally up for about 3 days. So that's good. And then it kind of made a big triangle formation pattern, and inflation caught up with it again and it started downtrending. So, you know, Zcash has kind of been doing that all along the way down, but that one was a really prevalent one. Now let's look here. This one is also a really prevalent one. 1 point at 0.0425 Bitcoin. It's 2 point at 0.0595, and it's 3 point down at 0.04282. So we saw that same pattern occur again in Zcash. Now, what do you think it's going to do? I think it's going to go up high again. Possibly make a triangle formation and downtrend and do the same thing. But I think when it does the same thing the second time, it'll be the last little fractaling down, because it's just been fractaling this pattern down from the top. It's been doing this multiple times along the way down. I think it'll be the last time it fractals out that pattern, because there'll be enough mining competition, general interest in the coin, and it's been downtrending a lot, has significant volume, and I feel like the coin will kind of find support around the 0.025 Bitcoin area. But I still think if you're day trading, there's still a little swing up in this Zcash. So one to keep your eye on, and if I would bet that you'd be safe to buy some and then sell it later today. Now, ETC. Let's take a look at good old Ethereum Classic. This chart pattern is also to die for, in my opinion. We saw, you know, a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, which is awesome. This one didn't quite try and hit its bottom even as hard. It didn't try and break below its bottom right here as hard, but it bottomed out at 0.00095. Its 3 point was 0.0015, and then its 2 point, wow, and its 3 point was 0.000971, and then it broke up, and its recent high is 0.001527 Bitcoin. So we saw a nice run up right here. I was buying it all along here. Haven't sold it yet. We're still holding it in our high altitude investing Poloniex here, which I'm starting to do in every video. If you didn't watch my last one, I'm going to do this Poloniex account in every video, and I'm going to add monthly amounts of Bitcoin to it. So it should be pretty fun to see how this channel grows, you know. But anyways, back to ETC here. It's coming down, and it's doing one of my favorite things that I see in a good uptrend. And it looks like it's going to break high right now as I speak, actually. But when I see a good uptrend, I see it have a lot of up support. So as you can see, you know, it hasn't really tried to break down at this low at this 3 point. It's had really good up support. It's catching its fib levels nicely, meaning that on its way up it's breaking above them, hitting the next one, and coming down, breaking above, coming down, breaking above, coming down, and breaking above. So it's just consistently breaking above its fib levels here. And it's testing its 38% level, as you can see here on the left. If you don't know where the fib level percentages are, you can see them right here on the left in the red lines, above the red lines here. And those are just, different fib levels. The market reacts to it. So just out of math, lots of things follow math, and trading is one of them. So you can see that the market kind of reacts to those important mathematical levels. Now, the 38% one is a very, very important decision point, because it's not it's not half and half, but markets really like to kind of hang out at that 38% level. A lot of times they side trend at 38%. They hit that 38% level a significant amount of times. And so because of that, people use a lot of buy orders at those levels, because they understand that the market naturally finds support at those areas. So that even adds more to it. Well, it really boils down to just them doing that in the first place, but that's a whole other thing. So we can see that the 38% level, it's hit it right here, and then it came clear up, and then it came and it's hit it again, and it's just kind of chilling there right now. This 38% level was pretty significant right here. It came and broke a little bit below it, and boom, tried to come up again. So it's sorry about that. My alarm clock to go check my Poloniex. Forgot to turn it off. Anyways, so they like to spend a lot of time in that area between 23, 38, and 50, and 38 being a very important deciding point. So in my opinion, ETC is an excellent buy today. I would be selling your expensive Bitcoin. I would have done it yesterday, but today is still beyond excellent market conditions to do it. I did do a little selling yesterday. Some of my super value, you would have got the most out of it yesterday, I guess I should say. But I was selling my, super valuable Bitcoin that came clear up to $900 and $913, I believe. I'll have to go look there again, but I was selling it into these alts because they were dumped off so hard and it was so cheap that it was a smart move. It's just smart. You can get a lot more money out of it doing that. So you win off of it both ways, when it does that. So yeah, ETC, definitely one to buy, definitely. Now, MadeSafe coin, excuse me. Alright, so MadeSafe coin made a nice double bottom here. Now, ever since that double bottom formation, that was at the same time period, it's had a nice, just consistent run up. Hasn't had a lot of anything pushing it down too hard, and it didn't dump off when Bitcoin did, which really, really surprised me. I thought that Made would lose leverage against Bitcoin, but it didn't. It's holding its leverage extremely well, like phenomenally well. And so that tells me that this coin is ready to take off right now. It's just been, in the long term here, we can see, this chart will load. Come on. In the long term here, we can see that it spent a lot of time at 38%, and it's there right now. And this, if I was to put, if somebody was to ask me what I would put my significant amount of Bitcoin that I wanted to sell today into any one cryptocurrency today, I would tell them that I would put the most of it in MAID right now. So, you know, like 45% of what you want to into MAID. So if you want to diversify a little bit of your Bitcoin into some altcoins today because it's so valuable, me personally, I would put a very significant amount into MaidSafe because this is going to take off really, really nicely here. So just from what I see in the chart pattern, I see a really perfect setup for intense uptrend to the moon growth. But anyways, so if we look, you know, back at it here, switch back to this, it's basically just been downtrending, you know, ever since the halving too. So a lot of these altcoins have been downtrending since the halving. My internet's being really slow right now, I apologize. So yeah, MaidSafe coin, excellent investment today. Litecoin is approaching a soft fork right now. I guess they're doing some actual work on the coin. I believe that they're doing a soft fork, so that should be interesting to see what it does to the value, but historically it's been a pretty bad investment since its previous high. So maybe it's finally, you know, ready to bottom out, but we'll see on Litecoin. Right now, it's honestly probably not a bad idea to short it if you want to. You know, you could probably make some money shorting Litecoin today because it's probably going to dump off with Bitcoin. It did pump up with it right here, so yeah. But anyways, the other one I'm going to look at here is Dash. So I've been talking about this in the past couple of videos, and I'm still very adamant on my views on Dash too. I would put the most into any two cryptos right now. Okay, what are my three best investments? That's even a hard question. See, this is really good market conditions. When you can't decide what to put it in because they all look so nice right now, that means you're like, you should really just put as much money as you possibly can scrounge up into it that you can afford to lose. Because obviously the number one rule of trading is do not trade money you can't afford to lose. But if you've got some extra money right now, you could really benefit from it by putting it into these altcoins. It's like, it's a Christmas miracle how these markets are. But yeah, for real. So Dash came up and from its low, previous low, bounced down from its 38 and is playing around at this 23% level, and it's really, really cheap right now, and I highly doubt it will break below 0.01 Bitcoin. I highly doubt it will break below that. So, you know, time will tell, but this is a very good market in my opinion today to be investing in. Now, the last coin I'm going to look at in here, and then I'm going to check our balance and put a couple margin positions on, is Steam. And I'm looking for Steam to pump hard right here, because if it doesn't pump hard pretty soon here, I don't think that it's going to be able to catch its value off its inflation still, you know, until it has more adoption and more reason to have a significant value. But that's my thoughts on it. It has pretty sharp buy walls in the future, you know, down the road here when it breaks lower. But right now it doesn't really have much of, you know, buy walls, and it has pretty good sell support. So we'll see. We'll see on Steam, but that's kind of my personal view on it right now. And now let's go over to our account here. and our margin is pretty low. We have, you know, a pretty big margin position on Factum of 7 and a pretty big one on Dash. So I'm actually going to hold off on opening any margin positions right now. We just don't have the extra funds. I'll probably buy more Bitcoin, and I'm going to make another video tomorrow, so because I'm going to do a history, my personal history with Bitcoin, you know, just like what I've been through, and you know, I'm just basically going to tell a little story of my experience with trading Bitcoin and stuff like that. Now, let's go ahead and check our deposits and withdrawals. We had $100 in this account, and we've shaved off about $18. This is to be expected after, you know, when you just barely, I basically missed what I was expecting in Bitcoin to happen by, you know, like a week exactly. So, goodness, my dang alarm. I need to just turn this phone off for a minute. Alright. So, basically, you know, I was expecting Bitcoin to hit a resistance level soon, or double top. Now, I didn't know exactly where it was going to do it. It looked like it was having a really hard time breaking its halving high, that 750, that 780 or whatever level. It was having a really hard time breaking that. So in the last video, I was assuming that it would probably go around 800 and find resistance in downtrend, but it went a little bit, you know, actually it had a really nice rally. So I basically missed my investment in these altcoins by about a week, but I still feel like I'm in the right place right now. I still feel like having a lot in these altcoins is a very good idea. I don't see Bitcoin rallying up crazy again for another, you know, month or so. I kind of see it going and finding support, you know, correcting. So yeah, that's, you know, that's kind of my thoughts there. Now let's look at Bitcoin because it's very nice. It came up. Now I have a fib level drawn here from, or a fib retracement drawn here from, you know, its lowest point back here at like $2 up to its peak at 11.63, and this is its first support level actually, or first resistance, excuse me, first resistance level since it's 38 right here at 720, which it was having a really hard time breaking through. This part right here, this is why I thought it might downtrend and come find support right here, is purely because it was having a hard time breaking above that, and because alts looked so nice on Poloniex. Now, it did break above that quite nicely. We've seen a very nice run up, and you know, I keep a lot of my Bitcoin. I like to keep most of it in Bitcoin, just hold it, you know, make my money in and out of alts and put it in Bitcoin. So I did make nice profits off of this recent increase in value here, and it came up and it hit its first resistance level at about well, Bitcoin actually hit $914, but its first resistance level is about 890 right there. You know, we'll say $900. Its first real resistance is $900. So I definitely think we're going to see a little correction in price, just like we've seen after this rally here. Oh, come on. Just like we've seen after this rally here, came and corrected itself to this fib level at 50%, and just like we've seen in this rally here, came and corrected itself, you know. So I feel like we're going to see it come and maybe correct itself at that 720 range, because it's doing a pretty consistent pattern here. And if it does do that, these alts will be insane. They will really, really take off, because, I mean, just the fact that Bitcoin made this run is going to have, you know, a lot of attention into the altcoin community, because whenever Bitcoin gets more adoption, all of the cryptocurrencies around it get more adoption too. So yeah, that's basically my altcoin and Bitcoin price overview for the day. Sorry I couldn't talk. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of good sleep last night, so my brain is a little foggy. I apologize, but thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your time, and as always, stay profitable.